Number one is going to be this body shape and that posture. If we don't get it any better or worse, we'll modify it to make sure that we can get you something that's going to be pretty good. Okay. I believe just by what you just did then, and as soon as I made you conscious of it, you stood up straight, and I believe that you can get there. So we'll just give it a bit of time and do a bit of work with it. Okay. So the right knee, let's try and protect that as much as we can. And what I'm going to do there is probably turn that right foot out just a little bit more, which what that does then is give us a little bit more internal rotation of your right hip. So if we spray that foot out just a little, then you're going to turn a little bit more effectively. So it takes some pressure off that knee, the actual sheer twisting of it. And then from there, you won't move laterally. So see that body shape there move. So if I play Mr. Squiggle over here again and put that there, we shouldn't break that line. In actual fact, we should see a little bit of distance between there and there. I'll go into that in detail in a second. But if you move laterally, you're not going to be able to turn. And the basics, it's a little bit more difficult than this and well above my pay grade, but the basics are that if you keep your hub there and keep it there, you won't change the contact point with the ground. But if you move that hub backwards and forwards, you're changing where the club's contacting the ground all the time.
Right.
So therefore, it's going to be inconsistent. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So there's just we're going to keep some pressure on that foot. Once again, taking some pressure off that knee, and you can start to see it bowing out there.
Yep.
We're going to keep some pressure on that foot. That hip will stay there, and you'll rotate around a lot more efficiently. And that is all we're going to do today. Okay. You'll be surprised then what will happen with the shaft due to that. On this side, you can see how vertical that shaft is there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll end up with that shaft there only by doing this on this side. Okay. And then all of a sudden, it'll come down a little shallower, and you'll make contact with the ground at the same place. And because it's going to come back down deeper, for want of a better term, so through here, it's got to travel further. So therefore, it's generating more speed. So angular momentum, essentially. So the distance between there, and then the distance from between over here. So all of a sudden it'll travel quicker. So you'll get a little bit more sting out of it. Right. And you certainly won't move the sweet spot around so much. Okay. Couldn't care less about this right now. You're probably looking at that and going, oh, that left arm's bent. Oh, that's something wrong with that. That left arm's bent because of how vertical this is over on this side.
Okay.
So I don't care about that. I'll sort that out by actually getting the backswing.
So that should be straight as well.
Look, it doesn't have to be. You look at one of the best ball strikers in the world, i.e. Lee Westwood. His is as bent as all buggery, but he hits it okay. He does it right. And one of the best of all time, which is Annika Sonnenström, and even Curtis Strange, bent left arm. They don't really need to be straight. Now, it will straighten out by way of putting it into a better position in the backswing over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So out of today, we're going to get better posture. We're going to keep some pressure on your left foot and therefore effectively rotate. And that is it. Okay. Does that make sense?
It'll take the hour, will it? Jesus.
That'll take a little while, that one. And what we'll do...
You put me in a straitjacket after that, do you?
Lots of Nurofen, and probably followed by vodka. So we'll get you into a bit better position by way of that. I'll take all my squiggly lines away.
That's bloody horrible.
Yeah, but it's a byproduct. The reality is you've never seen your golf swing, so you don't know what you're actually doing.
That's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I've seen a lot worse, and from extraordinarily elite players too. So it's all relative.
Well, this is the thing that pissed me off about golf. I've been a pretty good sportsman at just about anything I've ever done.
Yes.
And this thing is just killing me. So
yes,
it makes me feel like a dick.
I know how you feel. I've been lucky enough to represent rugby league, rugby union, Aussie rules, cycling at a state level, and this game's got me. I'm still playing this game and I can't perfect it. It's a bloody pain in the butt. So, and it's what keeps us coming back. So we'll end up, and if you also notice with that foot, you can see how that left foot's off the ground. Yeah. But once again, that's a byproduct of you moving laterally and putting so much pressure on the outside of that foot we're actually going to keep some pressure on it and get you to stay there a little bit more.
That shouldn't turn.
Look, post-impact, yes. But prior to it, your heel's off the ground.
Yeah.
You can start to see the heel off the ground and moving around, which means that we're probably not using the ground as much as what we should do. Our little friend Newton, push it into the ground, it pushes equal and opposite back at us. We'll use the ground a little bit more. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when we're talking about rhythm and all those kind of interesting words, it's quite good. It's very good. You generate a lot of speed. You generate a hell of a lot of speed. 74 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour. Given that we've got 7 iron in your hand, that's a reasonable amount of speed. At 132 metres, you watch that go up. But watch the speed not go up. We'll deliver it more efficiently.
Okay.
Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.